My name is Brad.
I'm Rebecca.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Esteban.
For our project, we did a lot of research on hybrid and electric cars, and we found out that they're actually not as good for your wallet and the environment as you would think.
In addition, we found a lot of facts that led us to believe it's wise to think twice about purchasing a new car, in particular a hybrid or electric vehicle.
Along with our research, we also went around campus and conducted interviews with other people and students.
And we've got a wide variety of opinions and knowledge concerning hybrid cars.
What do you think about hybrid cars? Like, what's your perception of hybrid cars?
They seem kind of a little bit better than the cars that I normally would drive for the environment.
Do you know anything about hybrid cars?
No, but I know a little bit about Geo Metro, which is really gas effective.
Yeah. It's better for the environment than a hybrid car.
Right.
Had you ever considered it before, or are you more of like a public transportation, skateboard, bike kind of guy? Or do you have a car yourself?
I have a motorcycle.
Do you have a motorcycle? Okay, cool.
You know what a hybrid is? Like a Prius?
Yes.
Commercial Prius? And how do you feel about hybrid vehicles?
I mean, it's kind of like this big thing with people like, oh, you have a hybrid, that means you're like, all for the environment and stuff, right? Which is a good thing, but I really didn't know much about it.
Oh, okay.
So initially, what would you think about hybrid vehicles?
They generally get better gas mileage, quite a bit better gas mileage. I think they're a good idea. My only question is, over the long term, how well they're going to hold up.
What they don't tell you is that they're putting harmful chemicals into the environment, into the ground.
Okay, well, I'd like to hear about that.
Yeah,
because I don't know about that.
The main culprit is the battery that they use.
It turns out that the way they make these batteries, they mine metal. Nickel's one of them. And what they do is they completely destroy the land trying to bring up the mine.
The processes which they use to produce those batteries that introduces lots of harmful chemicals.
Oh,
to
that
the
they do,
environment.
huh? Really? They're more
Yeah.
dangerous than the old batteries?
Yeah, and
Wow.
it's not the batteries itself, like the lead acid batteries that are like in your starter battery and stuff, but like just the processes like from the factories and stuff.
It kills all the fish habitat in that area. And then when they bring that metal out, they ship it to Europe. They refine it there, and then they ship it to China, and then they make nickel foam. And from there they send it to Japan, and they actually make the batteries for the hybrids.
A battery's journey until it finally gets into running cars 10,000 miles. So you got to think about these thousands of batteries being shipped across the world. So I mean, you're not all those ships and stuff transporting your battery that's going to be in your hybrid car. It's like wasting lots of gas and putting lots of emissions in the environment. So I mean, it's kind of counterintuitive.
When the batteries are put into landfills, it leaks into ecosystems, so it's getting into water, it's getting into the air when the factories are producing these metals. In nickel, in refineries, in certain refineries, men that had been there for 10 to 15 years working, they're finding a lot of cases of cancer of the paranasal sinuses and cancer of the lungs. So it was extremely toxic to the lungs and heart, and specifically nickel tetracarbonyl, which is used in the production of these batteries. So there's also a place in Canada, in Sudbury, Ontario, Canada, which has the biggest production of nickel and lead, that puts these crazy amounts of emissions into the air, just creating around it like a veritable tundra where nothing can really inhabit the land. And that's all going into the production of batteries, just the battery for the car.
They had this huge smokestack which would introduce all these harmful chemicals into the atmosphere. And so, I actually read here that NASA used the area around the plant to test it to brokers and stuff because of its similarity to the surface of the moon.
And there's actually a rare metal that's used in the battery of Prius that it's produced in China, and it's really rare, and it's with the high production of hybrids increasing, it's actually on its way to being extinct. And this specific metal is used in lots of electronics, like your cell phone, your brakes, your airbags. This specific metal is used in all these products. So, I mean, what would happen if, hybrid cars, push that metal to being extinct? Then what would we do without all of these products?
Yeah, and what else does it make? That metal?
Well, it's used in anti-lock brakes, airbags.
Well, we definitely need that.
Computers, many components of computers.
So basically
It's
everything that we
basically drive
Yeah.
everything.
Pretty typical electronics all use this specific
Neodymium.
The Toyota Prius. Now, to make this as economical as possible, they go to the ends of the earth, quite literally. I mean, the nickel, okay, that they use to make the batteries that power the electric motor, that comes from a mine in Canada. Now, nickel mining is a filthy business, a lot of sulfur and acid rain, but no matter. They load it on an enormous cargo ship, sent to Europe where it's refined, then on to China where it's turned into a sort of foam, then to Japan where it's put into batteries and into the car. It's so complicated, in fact, to make a Prius that a recent study found that in the long term it does more environmental damage than a Land Rover Discovery. But, no, it's true, but it is at least economic. Or is it?
Like the average life of a hybrid vehicle is about a third of what it is to any other just gas-driven vehicles. 150, 200 tops for hybrid vehicles. So their overall life is a lot shorter. So with what we've told you, would you still consider, or would you consider buying a hybrid car?
I had thought about it, and I did a little research on it, but I don't think that I would. I think there's something better out there that maybe some university kids might come up with.
Yeah, there's a new classification of car called the partial zero emissions vehicle. So if your Geo ever breaks down, you should probably get a partial zero emissions vehicle because those put out 90% less emissions than a standard car that's not really emissions controlled, I guess.
So I used the bus, actually, the bicycle.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the bus that uses natural gas. I have a motorcycle.
Do you have a motorcycle? Okay, cool.
Those are barely any emissions, so...
Right.
Yeah.
What's your gas mileage on your motorcycle?
It takes like $6 to fill up.
Okay, so 2 gallons?
2.5 gallons.
Okay. So roughly like 60 miles per gallon.
Right.
Hybrids are maybe 50 at the very most.
Maybe 50 a gallon.
If you go in
Yeah.
between gas and electric, it's maybe 50.
And they're like over 30 grand. I mean,
Yeah, new ones are like 29,
Yeah.
875.
the car's not going to last long enough to make up the fuel costs, so...
It's kind of retarded.
yeah.
Why are they even making these cars?
I would agree.
To make money.
Too good to be true, right?
Yeah.
The whole like.
Do you have any response to that?
I wasn't aware of you have downfall or the pitfalls of the nickel and stuff like that. So it's a lot eye-opening.
Well, that's scary to know. I didn't know that, so thanks for letting me know about
Thank you
that.
for your time.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Now what do you think about the hybrids?
I'm just gonna stick to the bus and walking, I guess. And luckily, I live in the city now that I can just ride the bike with everybody.
Yeah.
It's pretty popular here. Well, I guess it's because of that whole idea that you were trying you being eco-friendly and stuff, and I think people do want to do that, but we don't research it enough, I guess.
I'd say stop making hybrid cars.
Yeah.
So would you ever consider one?
No, not anymore.
No?
Not
Some hybrid systems are in place to increase horsepower, not necessarily lower gas emissions, such as the Honda Accord hybrid.
Hybrid electric cars still consume petroleum products like oil and gas, still making them only slightly better than the competition.
Did you know that if you get in an accident in a hybrid car, there's a high likelihood that you might get electrocuted because there's a high voltage battery in that car?
In the year 2020s, the estimated number of electric car batteries that need recycling is going to be 500,000 each year.
Hybrid cars are actually so quiet that you actually have a high risk of getting hit by one because you didn't even hear it coming.
Coming up now, 10 laps, and we are finished. Come on, we have the results here.
Yes.
The Prius did 17.2 miles to the gallon. The M3 did 19.4 miles to the gallon.
Hang on.
And that was verified.
Hang on. So,
No, seriously.
19
Yeah.
to
The
17.
M3 is more, at that speed, then M3 is more economical than a Prius.
So what you're saying is, if you want an economical car, buy a BMW M3.
No, I'm not actually. No, seriously, what I'm saying is, it isn't what you drive that matters, it's how you drive it.